Right now, we are filling our solar panel with liquid. In our previous design, we were using air between the two glass sheets. The problem with air is that it is an insulator, which means that the heat cannot dissipate very easily. Another issue is that it causes the incoming sunlight to reflect, which results in a lower efficiency of the solar cells. That is why we, as Biosphere Solar, are using liquid encapsulation to enhance both the thermal and the optical properties of our solar panel. Come, and I will show you which liquid we are using and how we can get the liquid inside our solar panel.
Wait, stop! Should we really be talking about this on YouTube, where anyone can see and hear about it? Companies usually keep their secrets close. Shouldn't we be doing the same? So there is a dilemma. On the one hand, we at Biosphere Solar are bringing circular and fair standards to the industry and the markets, and we're trying to bring this to the entire world. But on the other hand, we also see that this industrial sector and the financial sector are constantly pushing for companies and startups like ours to be going into a cold competitive mindset. But is that really how the solar industry became the cheapest and most sustainable source of energy in the 2020s? Are patents and trade secrets in our day and age, with the climate crisis on our hands, still the smart way of doing business?
So to figure out the answer to that question for ourselves at Biosphere, we decided to look into the history of solar and see how it's developed from there. If we take a closer look at the history of solar, we'll actually discover that it's not closing off, but it's the freeing of knowledge, equipment, and talent that has accelerated its development. These knowledge spillovers, as they're coined by academics, are intrinsic to the industry. But let's not make this a lecture, let's bring it to life. The affordable, high quality, and hopefully soon circular solar that we are so used to is actually thanks to the collaborative and consecutive contribution of some key nations: the USA, Germany, Australia, and now China. Let's focus on some of these in our story of how solar evolved. Now, it's easy and typical in this day and age to think of these nations as competing, racing towards the same goal, hoping to become the winner. But we like to see them more as collaborative, like a relay race, all passing on the solar baton consecutively towards that same goal. It started in the USA with state-funded research and development. After a happy accident in the semiconductor industry, this led to the discovery of solar PV.
At each crash, the charges build up and an electrical current begins to flow.
The development was open to observation. Key outside researchers like Martin Green from Australia toured the USA in that period. Innovative policies like California's progressive, sustainably minded standard offer contracts inspired German policymakers, especially a man named Hermann Scheer, to implement that in Germany. This eventually led to a huge demand pull that created the first scaled market for solar in Germany.
Germany is still the largest market for solar energy equipment.
And now, thanks to Australian-trained Chinese solar pioneers, thank you Martin Green, a exponentially growing industry is emerging. None of this would have been possible without radical collaboration. Silicon supply contracts have been established since the 1970s. Manufacturing equipment was moved from the USA to Australia, from Germany to the US, and talent has been moving to the frontiers of innovation and to the next big market opportunities. Contrast this to nuclear energy, of which the development was more of a political and military strategy. Solar has always been perceived as being able to serve humanity's most pressing needs. This positive view of solar has inspired engineers and entrepreneurs for decades to keep developing this technology, even in spite of government policy.
Someone who's always shared our vision on the industry as a collaborative relay race is Julija from Solar Explain. Thanks for getting on the call all the way in Lithuania. Could you tell us a bit about how you've seen the industry develop in all of your experience and how you've seen that knowledge sharing has been such a critical part in the successes that it's had?
Companies and even countries don't win by beating others, but by sharing their achievements, mistakes, and knowledge. You may be faster alone, but you will always go further together. At Solar Explain, we see that the information is the most valuable thing we can offer each other. So we are constantly looking for solar experts who are able and willing to share their hands-on market experience. We are then packing this information as courses to other professionals so they can get access to independent, structured, specialized, top-quality information for their better decision-making. Solar development and its success is always about racing together, not against each other. We are responsible for our future and for our planet's future, so let's collaborate.
One of the most striking examples of this collaborative mindset is between Australia and China and their knowledge exchange. There he is again, Professor Martin Green. At his lab in New South Wales in Australia, Chinese-born scientist Shi Zhengrong trained and refined solar cell technology. Shi took that technology and that knowledge and brought it back to China, where he founded Suntech in Wuxi.
Suntech is the world's largest manufacturer of crystalline silicon cells and modules.
But he didn't go alone. He brought his Australian contacts and their knowledge to set up China's first high-efficiency production lines. And as European and American suppliers sent over engineers and machines, Suntech grew at lightning speed, meeting demand of booming markets like those in Germany.
Many were designed specifically for international markets.
And this was all in spite of Chinese government policy, which was at the time not at all planning to set up their domestic solar supply chain. This open flow of knowledge, machines, and talent from Australian labs to Chinese factories to European customers shows that open collaboration is intrinsic to this industry and has contributed mainly to its success. Solar prices have been and still are dropping worldwide, and the stage is being set for a global solar revolution.
That's why, despite a patent pending, a highly competitive industry, and businessmen constantly telling us that we should keep our IP closed, we strive for collaboration over competition.
And because of this collaboration, the technology we are developing to make solar more circular can be adopted by the world rapidly.
We're working closely with manufacturers, researchers, and industry leaders, such as Chameleon Solar, TU Delft, and Circularize.
Because by doing what we're really good at and being transparent about it, at the end of the day, people trust us and buy and install our products.
Biosphere Solar is in it for the impact. And history has shown that although knowledge is power, knowledge sharing leads to impact.
Thank you for watching this video to the end. Do you have your own thoughts about this whole dilemma? Then just put them down below in the comments section. In the next videos, we're very excited to share more about how our technology works and how we're going to open source it and balance that with scaling up. So subscribe and stay tuned for the next videos. And if you, in the meantime, want to follow us or support us, all of those links will be down in the description, including our GoFundMe.